everyone, so today I want to talk about something that I've struggled with and I'm sure I'm not alone. So I kind of figured I'd come on here and share some things that I've learned. Expressing our needs clearly. Sometimes I found it tough to ask for what I really need. I mean, whether it's like friends or family or even my own head. Because I was so used to withholding myself and from expressing them that I ended up forgetting how to do it all together, which is like really bad. And I'm still a work in progress, but I've learned how to communicate my own needs because honestly, healthy relationships are like a give and take. And if we're always like giving, we're off balance. So here are a few things that come to mind when I was learning how to express my needs. So the first thing I understood when learning how to express my needs is that it's okay to not have it all figured out. I realized that it's normal to struggle when asking for something. I mean, especially if you're like not used to it, because we're so accustomed to holding back. I felt like it was a sign of weakness to not be able to do something when I was so used to doing it on my own. I mean, I was used to being like Little Miss Independent, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't have survived. And recently I learned that asking for help is part of being healthy. What I did was like start small, right? I would ask for small favors, such as asking my husband to hand me the plate. I mean, I know that sounds simple, and maybe I was the only one who had to start this way, but that was the reality of it. Starting small may look differently for me than it does for you. But whatever that small step is, take it. You have to start somewhere. The key is to recognize like what's missing and start with the small stuff. And just to let you know, you won't be rejected by the people who actually care about you. The next thing I learned when I learned how to express my needs clearly is that it is important to be direct but also kind. A lot of times I believe that I would be a burden when I asked someone for help. I didn't want to inconvenience someone because for me, I learned early on that causing someone to be inconvenienced, it would just regret, It's just the way I learned. And I didn't realize it at the time, but due to the person not, being healthy, that was why I regretted it. So I learned an unhealthy coping mechanism of not asking for help, so I wasn't a burden or convenience on someone. I'd get upset and overwhelmed trying to take on too much, and I wondered why people just couldn't see that. But the problem was that I wasn't actually asking for help. I learned not to expect that, I thought that people knew, when I actually come out and say what I had, my needs were. I would beat around the bush, I'd get upset with the results, and, I thought I was demanding for asking for help. And so I want to encourage you to ask for help, like in a kind but direct way, and see what happens, because it gets easier over time. And the last thing I realized when learning how to express my needs clearly is that it's important to be open to feedback and follow-up. The feedback and follow-up would often show me the kind of person that they were. If they were upset about me asking for something small, then what kind of person were they? Should I really be associating with them? Like, relationships, again, are give and take. I had to ask myself, would I be upset if this person asked for this? I mean, most of the time the answer would be no. But of course, there are exceptions to consider. I mean, maybe it's too much for them. Maybe they have too much on the plate, or maybe they don't care, or they're not willing to help. And sometimes it's a matter of, whether they have too much on their plate or they just don't care. But that was something to consider as well, because the test is that once you've asked for something, see what happens. Are they willing to help, or are they always making excuses? I think you'll find that most people are willing to help, especially when you're not asking for anything big. So to wrap this up, expressing your needs can seem really difficult, so start small. Instead of assuming that everyone knows what you need, ask for help in a kind but direct manner. Again, start small if you need to, whatever that small looks like to you. Then watch for their feedback. Know if they're making you feel bad for asking for help. I bet most of the time this won't happen, but if it does, boundaries need to be set. Your needs deserve to be met, just like anyone else's. A person who's always unwilling to help isn't someone that's healthy to be around to begin with. So let me know in the comments if you found this video helpful, or if you have any other questions that you may have when learning how to express your needs, and I'll make another video one. So have a great day, and thanks for listening.